Hey, what is up, guys? It is me, Zach Wilson, back with another video, and today we're going to be going over Tower Defense Simulator, Paintballer rework. This is going to be post-commentary mainly because there's a lot of other things that I'm also going to be going over as well. So, including all the bugs and stuff like that, and mainly all of the other changes that have been added, but it's mainly a Paintballer type of video here. Well, I'm also here. I'm also going to I need to stop saying also. I am here. I'm going to mention that I just bought Paintballer on my alternative account. Reasons why I'm using my alternative account is because I'm doing something currently on my main. So I'm going to have to use my alternative account, which I never bought Paintballer because I was in the right to say that it was not a good tower at the time. And now it is better. I'm going to go over the changes though that were made to Paintballer that are a little bit controversial though. So as I get into the game here, I'm going to just start off my game by just placing Paintballer because he is considered a starter tower in this game, so we must use him as a starter tower. I'm just literally going through like just saying random things while I just watch my own video. So yeah, I just get him to level 1 here because the level 1 is just, it's gonna get me through the rounds here. So, let's just go over, the changes right now, while we're here, since that level, because this is at every single level, and yeah, so, we did fix the bug where it says that he does no damage at level 0, that was fixed, and what's even more funny is that he was apparently bugged again, made it so that he did no damage at all levels on the 23rd of July, and then finally the 24th is where we see the statistical changes. So instead of now hitting every enemy in its range with its splash effect, because it's a paintball gun, so it has a splash effect instead of singles target towers. You could consider this a splash tower or whatever, AoE tower, whatever you want to call it. Not really. You know what it is. So now instead of it hitting everything in that AoE range, splash, whatever, paintball splash, it now only hits 3 max enemies at all levels. This does not change at level 3. It does not change at level 5. It does not change at all. It stays like this, and this is one of the main controversial reasons for the change, because in my previous video, I showed that it was not that strong, in my opinion. Like, I felt like it was strong enough to be a good starter tower, especially for Molten Mode. And I'm also going to show some clips here of other gameplay here. I can't English right now. I'm going to show clips from this one gameplay footage right here of how well it does in Molten Mode, just in general. Even with only a little bit of help from just a minigunner, which if you're playing in trios, you go into trios game to or a duos game, you're probably gonna have a partner that's either gonna carry you or he's gonna have more towers, to help you other than your paintballer and your snipers. So it's obviously not gonna solo the entire game for you, but it's going to do really well for the first few rounds. And even just spamming it is very beneficial. And combined with support towers, it's just phenomenal. It's a phenomenal starting tower. And even with this max hit of 3 enemies. Let me just say what that kind of is if you still don't understand. It just means that it can only hit whatever that's in that splash range is... 3, if there are 3 enemies in that splash range, it will hit all of them, or less. If there's 3 enemies or less, it will hit all of them. If there's 4 enemies in that splash range, it will only hit the first 3 that it sees, which is, if you have it set to first targeting, then it will just be, the ones afterwards inside the hitbox. And if it's on any other targeting, it will probably just pick a random enemy that's in, or the enemy that's closest to the hitbox splash. So, yeah. It's not a bad change. I felt like it wasn't really necessary. It could maybe be buffed a little bit to possibly 4 max enemy hits. I don't think, I think 3 is a little underpowered, especially, I mean, for the price, it's I feel like you should do a little bit more hits, maybe at a higher level even. It doesn't have to do, you know, more hits at level 0. I don't care at level 0, and especially at level 1, it's fine where it is at that point. But I feel like it can do a little bit more, especially since it's, you know, it's still a little underpowered of a tower, but it's also very cheap. As you saw at the start of the video, I bought it for 150 coins, cash, whatever you want to call it. So it's still very cheap. I'm pretty sure the price did not change. I can check that, but I'm pretty sure it did not change at all. There's also bug fixes for this tower. Obviously, as you can see, the paintballer does deal damage at all levels now, and you know, from the other day, it didn't do any damage at all levels, which is really funny. And also there's also a bug fix for paintballer's explosion. Now matches its visual explosion instead of always being set to explosion range of 5, which is just a nice visual indicator of where it's gonna actually hit. If you want to see this paintballer tower in action, for like spamming it and stuff, I highly recommend you going to the towards the end of the video, or I think it's a little, it will be a little towards the end of the video or something. I have to figure out how I'm going to edit this video, because it's going to be a little bit of more complicated edit. And one last thing to mention about Paintballer, he is still not a boss shredder. He will not shred bosses unless you have multiple of them you know, placed down. Then he will excel a lot, as you will see later. So yeah. Now let's just get into all the rest of these changes that I could find for all the towers. I did a lot of researching to make this video possible. I'm going to mention, even though this has been documented since May 31st of this year, splash damage does not bypass defense for some reason. It is apparently is claimed as a bug on the wiki, but it might actually be intended. I'm not entirely sure though. It does seem like splash damage should go through defense. That's just my opinion though. I have no idea what the devs are doing with that, since it's been a couple days now since, you know, that's been a bug. So yeah. This goes also, I'm pretty sure this also goes for Paintballer, which, yeah, kind of funny. Let's go into Shotgunner. It's a quick fix. It was made it so that the Shotgunner can no longer deal damage to units. Units in this game are basically just like, you know, if you have your military base, it spawns in units, is what it's called. Same thing goes for Crook Boss. He also spawns his little goons, which are also called units. So apparently Shotgunner could deal damage to those units, which is kind of funny. Apparently they've been able to do this since the 21st of December, which is in 2023, which is kind of funny that they didn't fix it until now. Let's go into Trapper. Trapper's a little bit complicated because there's been a couple things that have been changed and I didn't even realize it. The Spike and Bear Traps now deal unit collision damage. Whatever that means. Spike and Bear Traps now ignore defense, which is really nice because defense is very annoying in this game sometimes when it comes to certain enemies. So now the Spike and the Bear Trap can go just right through that, which makes sense. You know, Spike and Bear Traps kind of just like, you know, shred through defense a little bit there. Spike and Bear Traps are now much more effective against tank enemies, which is very helpful. Tank enemies. I don't know how I forgot this. The tank thing is the status effect that makes it so that it reduces all your damage to an enemy to 1, regardless of what damage the tower actually does. So yeah, it's a very annoying modifier. It's usually on these newer modes that are being released. So yeah. Let's go into the other changes of Trapper here. So there's actually statistical changes that I must have missed because I don't remember going over them. Base lead penetration is added to Spike Traps, which is nice because it would make a lot more sense. And level 4 lead penetration is also added to Bear Traps, which is also nice because them not having lead penetration kind of doesn't make that much sense. I mean, it kind of does, but not really. I don't know. It's weird. It's kind of a weird thing to talk about. There's a bug fix for Spike and Bear Trap damage. No longer gets lower with enemy health if the enemy has defense, which is just a nice. I don't even know. That should just been a thing. I don't know how that wasn't correct. Like it just, I don't know. I'm not speaking English good today for some reason. Also, the tower range no longer visually changes to be the same as the trappers, while one changes its traps. That's also just another bug, but probably wouldn't have noticed it in the game. So yeah. There's currently still a bug, I'm pretty sure, as of now, that for the Trapper, that burn damage and it does not generate cash in Molten mode or Fallen mode in any special maps. So, yep, that's cool. Very cool. No money, I guess. Ace. I did talk about Ace. Being made that right now, as of right now, it says that it no longer has a white dot under the plane while using the figure 8 path. There's currently a bug, I'm pretty sure, that... Let's see. Yeah, no, it's still a bug. Regular damage is no longer boosted by damage buffs, though the bomb damage still is. And there's a small red cube that appears on the center of the map when the ace pile is placed, which is not really a huge bug to be worried about. It's probably just a developer thing. And also, the hidden detection buff range is not shown anymore. I think I might have saw this in my video. I'll probably put it up if I saw it, but I just probably didn't notice. And I think the same buffs bug. Oh my god, buffs bug. With being placed down, the figure 8 flight path is shown instead of a circle. I'm gonna have to turn off my phone. And the figure 8 path does not rotate with the tower displaying the path incorrectly if rotated. I'm pretty sure this was changed. I don't remember it saying this. I think it said it a little bit differently. Like I said, I'm gonna have to go back to my old video and see actually what I put. Or what was put, because I don't remember it, like, changing at all. And I think they said it was intended that it wasn't changing. And now it's actually not intended, I guess. And I guess it is supposed to put the path, like, correctly. I think figure 8 path is supposed to rotate with the tower, but originally it was not an intended thing. Pyro just got bug fixes here. The bug fix is the hitbox growth speed now works correctly. The growth speed is just the fire that's being, put out of the pyromancer's, pyro or whatever the f it's called. I forgot what it's called. A flamethrower, yeah, the flamethrower. It now comes out of it correctly, and also the pyromancer now turns correctly. And there's still a bug that makes it so that his burn damage does not generate cash in Molten mode, Fallen mode, and any special maps. Unfortunate. Military base. So military base is bug fixes is the tank's cannon now deals damage. That's really funny. I haven't used military base in a hot second, and I didn't even realize that the tank was doing no damage with its cannon. But yeah, it does damage now. And there's another bug fix that the tank's gun now deals damage while the cannon's projectiles on the map, which is great. That's really good. Moving on to Warden, there was really the only thing that was changed is just that it proved the Warden's accuracy, and now the Warden misses less often, which is really nice. And there's a bug fix that Warden's fire rate is no longer much longer than intended, which is nice. And there's still a bug where the Warden no longer deals critical damage. That's really weird. Moving on to Minigunner, there is no statistical changes or bugs, but the only thing that happened July 19th, 2024 is, if you might have already saw on the page, was that they added a new skin, which is the golden plushie skin, which I'll put some pictures up of it now if I could find some on the web. So yeah, pretty cool. Ranger, he got a new skin. I talked about his new skin. It was pretty cool skin. I actually I actually run the skin now, which is nice. And there's apparently a bug right now where its regular damage is no longer affected by damage buffs, which is really unfortunate, considering that there is damage, damage flags that you could be placed down, which are consumables in this game, or items, whatever you want to call them, that you can use, and apparently those just don't work, I guess, which is really sad, because Ranger does a lot of damage. And if he adds even more damage to that, it could be a lot. Moving on to Mercenary Base. The bug fix for this is just that the Gunner APC can no longer be protected by the Field Medic. The Gunner APC is just the little gunning tank-looking thing that comes out from the commander, which is... apparently that was able to get healed by the medic, the Field Medic, which is the Field Medic from this exact tower, the Mercenary Base. Could be healed by that, which is kind of funny, considering the Gunner APC is very broken sometimes, and it's gotten some clips with my friends, which is kind of funny.
I forgot the command word thing, guys.
Oh my god!
What happened?
My humvees!
I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah. We got Brawler. Brawler has not been getting many changes, as because it was added May 18th, which is very recent as of now. So not many changes have been happening to this. We did get a new skin. I'm pretty sure I showed off the new skin. And there's a bug fix that is no longer possible to stack brawlers in one spot by making it reposition to walls. So it just means that you can't stack brawlers on top of each other anymore, which could have been broken, but not really that much broken. English, please. Me. Sledger. He doesn't deal double damage to frozen and chilled enemies. That's annoying, because, you know, that's where Sledger's main damage comes in, where he can stun the enemies, and do even more damage to them because, you know, they're frozen or chilled, and it's where his damage actually came in for the tower, and he still does a lot of damage in it, but it's just very expensive to actually upgrade. So getting him to level 3 was most viable option, especially after the rework that he got. Yeah. Cryomancer being added recently as of the Christmas update. His hitbox was changed to an angled hitbox. I don't really know what that means in terms of how good he is still, because I don't really use him that much either. And there's a bug fix right now that Cryomancer can no longer deal damage to units, which is just another thing going back to Shotgunner, where Shotgunner could deal damage to units. And again, units are just things from, like, you know, military base or crooks, crook bosses crooks, where you know he spawns them, they spawn them, and then you can apparently hurt them with your own tower somehow, which is kind of funny. And there's a bug fix for the hitbox growth speed, now works correctly, which is just another thing going back to Pyro, where it actually, you know, makes it so that the ice, it's the ice this time, actually hits all the enemies correctly. So yeah, that should be almost everything. If I missed anything, it's probably pretty vague, or I just left it out in the video. So yeah. This video is a little shorter than my last one, mainly because there's not much things to go over. I just went over everything that I could as of July 19th and the July 24th change for Paintballer. So yeah. Thoughts on Paintballer? It's not that bad of a nerf as people think it is. I think I've watched a couple videos on it, and I've heard that it does, you know, less damage overall. Yes, this is true. But the triple target situation is fine, because it still does good damage, and like it didn't get a damage nerf or anything. It just got, you know, a maximum enemies hit kind of nerf. So I feel like it's in an okay spot. I think, like I said, if it were to get like buffed or reworked again, it should maybe add it so that it could hit 4 enemies at max, like at max level or something. Because, you know, you could leave the 3 hits for all the lower levels, and then maybe just increase the price for the last level, since it is only $4,000, and make it so that it hits 4 max enemies, which would be nice. But that's just me. So then, thank you again, guys, for watching this video and going over all the reworks and changes and bug fixes with me. I know it's a bit of a boring, long video. But yeah, it was fun documenting all this stuff, and yeah, I will see you guys when I see you guys. Peace out.